Thanks for joining us, everybody. Welcome back to the Podheads, making some money. I'm going to change that name one day. At the Podheads web show. Check us out. Google us, honestly. Everything will pop up. Our latest episodes, tweets, content, all the popular streaming platforms as well. Spotify is my favorite. Check us out, guys. So we're going to do science. Always love science here. Being the stoners that we are, science is paving the way for the future. If you're not on board the science train, you are a douche. So I cannot pronounce this guy's name. Mashudu. Tshif, so I'm going to assume that's Tshifularo.
So
anyway,
Japanese, right?
Yeah, Japanese scientists, I assume, are all racist. Makes history by performing world's first 3D printed middle ear transplant. This guy also supposedly cured deafness with this transplant. Let that sink in for a second.
Oh, see, we talked about this before, right? When JB has an opportunity to extend his life by buying a 3D printed earlobe, I'm going to do it, especially if I'm deaf, right?
Guy, obviously, this is a world first. This guy literally made history. I mean, so obviously, just search that headline, guys, because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Again, just search the world's first 3D printed ear transplant, and this guy could pop right out. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, am I hearing that right? No pun intended. The cure to deafness? That's pretty crazy. I don't know, man. I'm cautiously optimistic, but I honestly think that things are going of the way of kind of like Repo Man. Hopefully it doesn't get that bad to where they're actually coming and pulling your organs out. But I honestly believe that in the future, you'll be able to freaking buy a new liver. Get your new lungs, get your ear. Your kid's born blind. All right, swap those lines out.
There you go. For your ear, it doesn't get any more basic, I would think, in the body than an ear, right? And then to cure deafness, that is life-changing for millions of people. So if they can do that with just an ear, C-Money, we posted that on the show where the doctors are doing, surgery across the world, basically, or using 5G internet. So you can have this, I'll have this doctor who is the master at replacing earlobes. I'm going to call him up, pay him his money. I'm going to lay down in the cipher, okay? I'm going to lay down in the cipher, and this doctor is going to be able to replace my 3D printed earlobe through 5G, through the internet, using robots, right? We talked about robots.
Imagine this working, right? Is you literally have to go to a clinic. I don't think this is at-home stuff. You go to a clinic where they have the robot that is actually capable of doing the procedure.
JB's living in 5,000.
Yeah, you're 5,000. And then the doctor from his place controls, remote control or whatever.
Of course. I say it's going to happen. It has happened. The 5G surgery has happened. The Chinese have done, I forget the right term it is, over the internet surgery before on mice and things of that nature. But just recently, they did it on a cadaver. So they performed a real surgery on a human cadaver using internet and
a VR headset, right? Didn't he have it was almost like a VR set that had him where he felt like he was in there, right?
Right. It was his hands. And today's robots, Tesla has cars that drive better than humans. So their hands, robot hands, are going to be perfect. You understand what I'm saying?
No shake.
No shake.
If you need to be slicing at so many degrees, it's going to be able to slice at.
But computers always do glitch, though, at least once. So that scalpel's just going to go.
Oh, bro! How many? Speaking of Teslas, you know how many fail safes you have? Nuclear power plants, even though they do blow up sometimes, are supposed to have 10 fail safes, so that doesn't happen. So I'm thinking there's going to be many fail safes in this type of this type of industry.
A motion capture thing where the guy just sits there on his end with a dummy moving his hands, and it picks his hands up and moves the robot, or is he literally sitting there with a remote control,
Right. From what I could tell, right now it's a joystick situation. Okay. The heads-up display is very cool looking because, like you said, degrees so the doctor is seeing what he would normally see when he's doing the operation. Okay. So it's just all the doctor's senses are enhanced. One, so to speak, right? His eyes are going to be better. You're able to zoom in, his hands are not going to be trembling. You have doctors, right, who are 80, 90, who are the smartest people in the world, and you're not going to be able to perform surgery because of things like that. So in my mind, I only see a benefit of this, you know, and it's probably going to be expensive because everything else is. But in reality, when this is commonplace, this is cheap. The doctor doesn't have to leave his house, his computer desk. You understand?
The only thing is that there's a learning curve, right? You got to be able to mess with the joysticks, right? You know what I mean? And you don't want to be doing it from home. You know, your kid's scary, or your cat climb on the computer, you slice up. Yeah. But I can see a real practical application. The internet is doing one thing for the world, and it's making things that used to be expensive very cheap. Technology just does that, right? I remember when a DVD player was $300. You can get one for about $5 now if you go to the right place. So think about all the things, you know, the outpatient surgery centers that don't require so many staff, the nurses that aren't going to need to be hired, all the doctor that's not going to have to travel or spend his day in the office. This is going to make surgery, I would hope it's going to make surgery cheaper. It's going to make getting, your visits, your co-pays cheaper. At least I would hope. This is probably not going to be the case when it first starts, but we're talking about 10, 20 years down the road. This could make, getting a simple procedure that might even kill somebody. You burst your appendix, you don't get to the hospital in time, you're in trouble. This could make something that I've seen concept art in certain countries for like mobile, surgery, right? Where they'll just pick you up, or there'll be like places you just walk into this box and the surgery starts happening. It's crazy.
It reminds me of an episode of Futurama where like a suicide box or something. So you just go in. Suicide.
Yo, Futurama didn't get enough love, bro. It was one of those shows that you may necessarily not have had gut-wrenching laughing moments, but it was just fun to watch.
Zoidberg? Yeah, bro.
Yeah, Zoidberg. Yeah, that shit is amazing. But, what if life becomes that? Going back to science, what if life becomes, instead of dying naturally, you more or less get to choose, because everything that's wrong with you, they're just going to replace. Oh, it's your heart, it's your lung, okay. Oh, your lung is cancer-ridden? Okay, instead of surgery and chemo and killing you through poison, we're just going to replace the lung. It's fine.
That's why these news excite me, because I know that's the future. That's where we're headed. Like, we shouldn't be dying. Like, right. I know that sounds crazy and like everybody dies, but we should be able to fix a lot of the health problems, and especially in this country, we let money get in the way of real research. This is coming out of Italy. Let me give these guys props. This happened in Italy. So other countries are stepping forward and moving forward with technology and health, so that in our future we don't have to die in that sense. I love this shit, man.
I mean, the life expectancy rate is going to go through the roof. Probably in the next 20 years.
150. Imagine that.
Well, that's what they're saying. That's what scientists are saying now, that there are going to be ways to fight things like Alzheimer's, fight things like cancer. My concern is, when do people stop caring about their bodies because they know they can just replace?
Already, bro. There's 48% of America's obese. They already don't care.
That's true, because they got pills, because they know they can take a pill to keep them alive. So it's only going to get worse when they know they could just replace their liver.
That's very true. So that maybe behavior changes for the worse, right? Oh, fuck it, I'm gonna drink myself until I get a new liver, or smoke until I get new lungs. Like, man, I didn't think about that.
But it's weird though. But then COVID comes out and kills obesity and all those types of things. So if you neglect your body, then nature has a way of things like COVID coming along,
balancing
taking out the people that neglected their body. Isn't that ironic? If you've been neglecting your body all these years and years and years, and you're unhealthy and you're fat, and I've been there, I'm not talking shit, I've been a fat ass dude, and this thing comes out of nature or the China or whatever, and it takes you out purposely. It's a mind fuck. You got to get healthy, guys.
Yeah, it's important to treat your body, even though you know that you might be able to go ahead and freaking 3D print yourself a new set of lungs. You probably shouldn't smoke cigarettes.
This cadaver had its vocal cords operated on, okay, to manipulate the cadaver's vocal cords. And they're saying the doctor had perfect control of the forceps, the knife, everything. It was like if he was there with perfect bandwidth and low latency. So no lag, see money.
And you're telling me they can't put me in
5G?
I can't be in like a Call of Duty game yet with VR. They still can't figure this shit out. And I don't mean where I click to move. Like, I want real ass shit. They can't figure that out.
I said it in this show before. I think the American infrastructure on the internet is shit. We should have fiber optics running everywhere, or 5G. Let's put them all up. This weird hatred against 5G, by the way, is weird. A lot of people think COVID was because 5G causes COVID or some ridiculous shit like that. Exactly. But listen, 5G is here. It's gonna be here. Satellite internet. Big shout out to them because we see this Starlink across with our own eyes. So internet is here, not only to stay, but about to blow up here in the next decade. I mean, everybody will have access to internet. What that means for the future, I mean, I'm hopeful. I'm a glass half full kind of guy, man.
Yeah, fingers crossed, bro, because shit is gonna get weird in the next 20 years.
Or weird, I don't know, man. You're really right, Frank. It could be so weird. I'm reminded of the movies where you pay with time. Like,
that Justin Timberlake
movie, you pay with time. I can see that happening.
That was kind of slept on. That was actually a pretty good movie. I thought it was all right.
It's an interesting concept.
It is an interesting concept. Justin Timberlake, another one who I want to like, because I don't really hate anything he does. And sings back. All right. Anyways, guys.
It depends who gets technology, right? If Elon had for the last 20 years full government funding and this and that help us make the earth a better place, imagine what would have come out besides what he's had to do on his own. So that's what frustrates me. I mean, I understand the military's making badass weapons and shit, and I want to see some of the shit that we don't know that we have. But to your point, you have to embrace technology, people. You can't be afraid of it.
Evolution.
Yeah.
We're never. I don't think our brains are gonna grow any better, but we have to evolve as a species. We have to progress, right? What's the next frontier? What's the next frontier in health and technology? Forget coal. Let's go to solar. You understand that mentality? I think is what's so important in this country.
I think the universe every 10 or 12,000 years or so just sends us a huge disaster, and it's up to us if we figured out how to get out of here or not. That's why I really do believe it's a simulation theory. It seems like human race just resets every time these disasters happen, and it's up to us if we can get off this fucking planet yet. So that's why we need Elon. But that being said, guys, we have our own segments now, so we may not be Elon Musk, but we can at least provide you with some entertainment, some trivia, some fun movies and such. So we'll be right back, guys. Podheads Web Show.
Yeah.
Nice.